Oh, no, no, no. There we go. I think I'm live, guys. I think I'm live. I probably have a lag. I don't know if I got the oh, what do you call it? The latency turned on there. Man, what a crazy day. I did not realize. Sorry. Made me some seaweed. Still a little hungry. Couple adjustments here. Hang on, guys. I think this dock will dock here somewhere. Let me see. Hey, there we go. So we okay. Move this over. Now we're talking. That is how I like it. I wish this would go over here though. Let's see if we can get that in there. Oh, it's being mean. Hang on, folks. I'm gonna get this straightened up real quick. I reconnected my YouTube to this OBS, and I don't want to double this. Come on now. There we go. Now we're talking. Now I'll be able to read chat and everything right here in OBS. Won't have to be looking around. Thank goodness. Move this down so we got a little more visibility here. Maybe. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. Let me hit the top chat. Now I only got a few things left to get. I was actually going to go live last night. Excuse me. But I've got one more monitor I got to get set up. And I went around to try to find the part to double my HDMI because my laptop only has one HDMI jack. And these things are delicious. I need two. Excuse me. My TV or monitor that I have set up to watch some of this stuff on also has a, oh, I forget what they call it, but oh, excuse me, I had to have some coffee there. Port to hook up like a monitor to it, and hey, what's up, Package Total? I don't know what I'm doing on half of this stuff, but I've tried it. So this is I've always heard about the Charizard, so I figured, this one's right on the front there. I might as well. It's basic, but might as well get one. I like to take risks, and I tell you what, Pokemon's probably been the biggest risk so far, cost-wise. Well, I shouldn't say so far, but it's an addiction. I see something, and if you got a chance of getting something big out of it, I do it. Let's see here. Right. My grandma was big into collecting. She used to take me to the. Is the audio okay? Just to check. I don't know if the sound is, the music is streaming behind me or whatnot, but hopefully everything's set up. I've got a new microphone. Hopefully the audio is a little better. And but yeah, as a kid, my grandma used to take me to auction sales all the time, and I tell you what. It's kind of addicting. She ended up with a lot of stuff when she passed away that she had boxed up and put away. And they, in her will, she wanted to have everything. If the children, because she had 9 children, if the kids wanted anything, she wanted everything put on an auction sale, and if they wanted them, they paid for it. And the auction turned out quite well, and made quite a bit of money from it. And I know a lot of the kids got stuff, so. See, I stayed out of that Black Friday stuff. I would have been broke as a joke right now. I'd probably been tapped out and then some. I'm gonna go ahead and see how to open this thing. It's on. I think I've got a scissors around here. half the time I don't know what I'm buying with Pokemon and stuff. You know, and I didn't realize when you bought Pokemon at like a Walmart or whatnot, if you buy it, you bought it. You don't get to return Pokemon stuff. So a while back I bought one of these. Whoop, let's see where we're at. Right there. One of these. It's got a list of what's in it. It's kind of cool. It's got like the actual ball you can open up, put your cards in, and play from. It was like $50. I called my sister because my nephew, he's kind of big into Pokemon, and I sent her a picture. I said, "Hey, ask him if this is a good buy or whatnot." Because I just kind of buy random stuff, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I've got an app on my phone. Let's see if I can pop it up here that I use. It's supposed to. I think it's this one. It's supposed to scan your cards and automatically upload your what cards you have. But the scanning part kind of sucks. And then of course when I got a new phone, I can't get into my old account to figure it out. But I had a lot of stuff in there. I think my highest card that I found in a package was 35 or 36 bucks. But anyways, like I was saying, I bought that, and I didn't realize you couldn't return stuff, so I figured I'd buy it and I'd take it back if my nephew said it wasn't worth buying. Well, he turned out to be he's never seen it before. Excuse me. And man, I got his scissors here somewhere, and I just don't know where I got it sitting. He wasn't too sure about it, so I bought it, and I went to take it back, and they said you couldn't return them. So that's going to be his Christmas present. Hopefully it's something cool. Me too. And then, I kind of did a little bit of research on this, and if it's got this, which kind of, I don't know, it's kind of unclear exactly what's supposed to be in it, but if it does, it's got $40 worth of cards in it. So without just guaranteed. So that'll be pretty cool, for a Christmas present for him. Hopefully it'll make his Christmas go a little better. Let's see what we got here. That one. Basic. I should and then I bought one box that I scanned the card in, and it doesn't even have the version that I got. So I don't know if that makes it more valuable or what. But yeah, I've tried to figure some of this stuff out, and I don't know. Nice, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's what I'm trying for. That's that whole thrill. Just like buying rolls from people on YouTube and stuff. It's the thrill of what you could get. Wow, that's a humongous. Is that like a real card? That's I didn't know that was an actual card. That thing is huge. That is awesome. I've never actually bought a pack with something like that in it. That is flipping amazing. Huh. That is really cool. Oh, totally, man. Totally. It's like, as much as I spent on them, because I bought them from, I think it was Silver Life, and paid, a little too much for them, but at the same time, finding those ones that are 30, 40 bucks is still an awesome feeling, striking it rich. Speaking of Silver Life, I'm waiting to hear back on this Morgan that I won from him. It came with a couple other ones that I've still got one of them. The other one I sold. I'm kind of kicking myself for selling it, but there's been a lot of people that are stumped on this Morgan, so I'm hoping that. So now, that humongous card. Is there a value on that then too? I don't know. I don't have a clue. I'm gonna have to put that in a humongous flip, I guess. That one there. Let me see if I can. If it'll actually scan. I know you're supposed to do this on something white. Let me grab one of these 76 proof sets. See if it'll work for me today. Probably not. It does not like to scan. Oh ho! There it goes. That's a $2.57 card. So hey, it was a $20 pack. And I don't know if you can actually scan that thing. That thing is humongous. That's probably not going to work. Yeah, that one probably won't scan. I'll have to figure that out. I mean, it's got the same, looks like the stats and everything on it. Huh. Who knows? Maybe that'll be something super collectible some days, right? Right, right. They're the exact same card, though. I mean, if to a T, everything's identical. So I wonder if it's an actual card that can be sent. Maybe it's something I'll just have to hold out for a long time, and maybe, who knows? Maybe there'll be some kind of set that can be put together, and somebody absolutely needs that card. Now I wish I had my scissors, because opening these packs and my hands and stuff and getting older and stuff is a nightmare. So I like to just trim them open. But I do not see my scissors anywhere. I do have a razor blade. Cut my fingers off this morning. That'd be great. Let's see, where is that blade? I know I have it down here. Oh, try to be, you always try to be completely set up and organized for these things, and it just never goes right. I actually set up the stream reminder. I had a sleep study today, and, oh boy, where's everything just moved around? I straightened everything up down here and moved everything around, and now I can't find anything. That's how it goes. We'll just use a blade to cut them open. But I had a sleep study today, and I set up the stream reminder off my cell phone for this stream, and didn't realize you got to stream from wherever you set it up at, or there's probably a setting in there that I didn't set up that I wasn't able to stream. That's why the second attempt here. But sleep study, that was probably the worst one yet. I mean, the first two I didn't get bugged much by the nurses and stuff. And this one I went in. The first two I went in for, they paid me. I had to go for 2 nights, and I had to sleep for. Oh, there's only 4 in this card. Okay. I had to sleep for 5 hours each night, and if something wasn't exactly right, see, I don't even know. I have a clue on this. The only way I can tell, price wise or anything like that, unless it's got some amazing, VMAX or something like that on it, if they're valuable or not. Half of them I can't even pronounce their names. Like that's probably Yoveltel, Cosmog. I'll have to do some research on these and see what we get. Solgaleo. These must be like booster packs or something. I've got a whole pack. I opened. This will be I bought 2 of they're like a Halloween edition thing, and I was scanning the one card and it was popping up, and I had like 10 of them at $80 a piece, and I don't know if it just scanned wrong or what. I never went back to look, so I should probably pull those out and do a research on them. Come on, get out of there. Now this one has, come on. This one has more cards in it, it feels like. Pokemon trading cards. And then I haven't got a clue on if they're all the same, but I got some Pokemon Go ones the other day. And there's some pretty decent valued ones in there too. Got Energy. We got Toy Catcher. Hippowdon. Goldluck. Chinchua. Dino. Pumpkaboo. Carvana. Ghost of Fire. Cutiefly. And Gorgeous. Nothing that I think was valuable. I mean, to some kid, all that stuff's valuable. I'm not a kid. I mean, I act like one a lot of times, but I keep forgetting now. I got chat in front of me. I don't have to look over my other monitor anymore. I mean, I've got a ton of Pikachus and some of those ones that are supposed to be super valuable, but they're just the basics, nothing major. I got excited when I bought some from Silver Life. I got a Pikachu, and it was a V Max. I don't know, but it wasn't the most super cool one. Rizram, Cosmog. I think I had another one of those, didn't I? Same ones. And I don't know, I sometimes I'll keep them and put them in bags. My first batch of Pokemon that I opened, basically all the ones from Silver Life there. Ow. I'd held on to them for quite a while, and I brought them back here to Colorado and gave them to my nephew. He kind of, I told him he had to keep them all because I didn't want to mess, you know, I didn't want a bunch of cards, so he had to keep all the ones that were good or bad, and he kind of weeded through and grabbed all the good ones, left all the bad ones. I was like, you got to take them all. I don't want to, I'm not a collector, so it's yours, son. I think he ended up with, I can't even remember how many packs I brought back. Groudon, same kind of stuff. Now that one, I don't have a clue. Another Pikachu. I know they vary in value too. And this app is kind of cool. I got my nephew into it too. It basically treats your Pokemon cards almost kind of like the way the stock market runs. You can watch and see them go up and down and stuff. And when I found my Pikachus, I think they were at 4 cents. They shot up to 10 cents. I should have sold them, but it's probably cost more to ship that stuff. But it's kind of a cool little concept. I guess for a kid that's collecting these things, if you're not certain of what you may become when you get older, that's kind of a good guide onto. No, I didn't get the. Oh man, it would have been cool if it was that Rainbow VMAX. That was the one or two stages below that. And I was so excited, but I think I did it on video. Mew, that's supposed to be another fairly big one. Well, I'm going to have to research all these ones after the stream. It'll take too long if I do it all sitting here, but some decent possibilities in those. We got one more pack to open. And then I got a box of pennies I got to get through. And then I think Thursday, I'll see if I can't do it, set up a stream reminder. And maybe just start a stream that's just going to link to another stream so you can transfer over. I'm going to be doing a box battle, either pennies or nickels or both. I'm not sure, with Sir Benji. So, but we're going to use his streaming software. So this is one. Whoop! This is one of the bigger packs. I forgot to flip the things. There we go. I see something in the back. I'm not going to scan for it. I really want to scan for it to check and see what it was. It looks like probably at least a hollow. So, Berserker, got an Energy, Makuhitu, Pampur, Seawaddle, Skarmory, Jinx. Okay, yeah. Baltoy. I think that's what they consider a reverse hollow, right? Maybe not. No, not that one. And that's a hollow. We got looks like Bolton V. Let's just do it. I can't go on without at least checking that one, right? Let's check that out. Let's see if we can get her to scan. Let me see here. It's probably like 50 cents. That's usually my luck. Come on, scan. I don't want to type up. Hey, it took it. $1.96. So. Whoop, get back here, where you at? $1.96. And the Lance's Charizard, $2.57. So, hey, that's about $4.50, a little more right around there. So, out of that, depending on whatever else is in those packs, $15 loss. Ugh. That's worse than going to the casino. Okay, maybe not. The last trip to the casino kicked my butt, so I ain't gonna lie. Went to the Dakota Magic, and oh my gosh, we had way too much fun one night. Yeah, it was an interesting night. So I'll have to go through and maybe do just a short update video or something on scanning all those out. I don't want to take the time to scan them all because sometimes they scan, sometimes they don't. You got to type it in and stuff. So I'm gonna move on to these pennies. I got this one and 3 more boxes that I brought back from North Dakota. So these are North Dakota pennies, and I've got 2 boxes of nickels that still left from from that trip, and they're both North Dakota. I've looked in those. I think one's got a silver ender in it, so I think they should be good. So hopefully on Thursday, I'm not sure which one we're going to do. We're either going to do pennies or nickels for the battle there. And then I think we usually do, last time, I think we did like 4 or 5 giveaways during the stream. It was a lot of fun. He kicked my tail, I ain't going to lie. He had a lot of Canadians, and my box just wasn't producing. So this will be my, I brought, if I remember right, let me get this straightened out. There we go. 9, no, it was 8 boxes back. And in my first 4 boxes, I got, oh man, what was it? 30 Canadians. And right around the same amount in wheats. I can't remember. I got the total here somewhere. I like to do my boxes where it's kind of like a battle. Just because North Dakota, you get a lot of Canadian stuff. So it's, it's my battles usually sometimes not against other channels with the boxes. It's usually box to box who's going to win, Canada or the U.S. And I hate to say it, Canada's been kicking our tails, guys. Real bad. Right. The only time you got to worry is just make sure it's all backed up. Say, like if you have to get a new phone or lose your phone or whatnot, because when you go to get that new phone, if it isn't backed up somewhere in your system, I don't know if I can find it in mine. I don't know if I ever backed it up either, but I lost everything that I had saved, and I'll have to go back through if I want to check them again. Roll number 1. Because all my stuff disappeared, so I should say my stuff. It was all my nephew's stuff. I'm gonna have to switch glasses here, a little bit more powerful. He got them also. They're probably all in this app. And the cool thing about this app, I think you could share it. You could put your actual collection online to sell, and share and swap and stuff. And I've never done any of that. These glasses broke like the first day I bought them. Both sides popped off. So I taped them. They work until I can get some new ones. Hey, I can see though. Oh, there we go. Got ya. Yeah. Watch that. Make sure it gets make sure you back it up. Otherwise, you possibly could lose it like I did, unless I just didn't do something right. I'm not very like my technical skills aren't that great, so I'm lucky to even got the stream going today. For some reason, my OBS saves most of my camera settings. One camera always is needing to be reset, and there's a few other things that kinks in it. Hey, first roll, and we already got our first Wheatie. Few things that I got to work through on it. Like I got the wrong scene over here. Let me get over here. We'll do, where is scene 2? There we go. I probably have some lag, so I'll try to. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm back. No, I didn't mute it. I forgot on. How do I do that without? All right, let me add something. I forgot to add my audio capture device or audio device. Let's see here. Okay. See if that works. Okay. I'm going to put that over there, and then I have to put also, I do believe, a audio output capture. That's why I forgot to add my audio and stuff to the scene there. I apologize about that. I'm back. I got it reset up now, so if I flip back and forth from my scenes there, like I said, I'm still a rookie. I'm trying to get better at this. I forgot to add my audio capture in my input. So now that I transition, I'm going to transition here. I do have a slight lag. Let me transition. All right, cool. Let me try. Let me transition one more time and see if it sticks. I think it's going to. I hope we are. Is it still audio still good there? That must have been the problem. I'm hoping. So when you transfer, I guess like I said, I'm still a rookie. When you transfer like that, I guess your audio doesn't transfer with the seam. So all right, cool. Appreciate it, package. It's awesome. All right, we're on roll 10 here. Let me flip back over now. Little by little, I'm getting this better and better. I still got to learn how to do some of the surrounds for my my stream and stuff. Roll 10. Let's just check for Canadians right off the bat. Sad, you got to check for Canadians right off the bat. All right. Now, can you hear the music in the background? And is that okay too, or if not, I got to figure out how to send that through. I got it running on my desktop. I used to just stream it right on my phone, or listen to it right on my phone. But I figured out. Hopefully, I figured how to get it to stream. There's a 99 stream through my desktop there. A lot of the times I'll check my close AMs and stuff and wide AMs, but I'm just kind of flipping through them quick today, just in case. I know my mom has her own cleaning company, and I think some of her employees may have canceled on her today. So just in case she needs me to go help her today, I'm gonna fly through these. I'm pretty sure she's taking a late start, because when I came back, it was, like I said, we had about 3 inches of snow and it was pretty slippery out there. They put on this what is it, magnesium chloride, I think is what it's called, for these roads and stuff to keep them from icing up. But at the same time, that stuff makes everything under, above them to where you're not iced up, but it's slipperier than heck. So okay, I can always turn that up. Let me see. Audio input. So I don't know if that turned it up or if I've got to go over here and physically, let's just see. Whoop, there it went off. Turn it up like that, I do believe. Hopefully. We'll put it up to 10. See if that helps. Let me know if it's too loud and we'll change it on back. There we go. Rule number 11. If you ever hear me sigh, you just know what it's all about. We got a Canadian in the roll. Like I said, sorry Canada. No offense. I love y'all. Just don't like your coins right now. And it is a 1994. And then researching on their coins is kind of a pain too, because I've been told by some of the YouTubers that are from there, that site's kind of a wishy-washy site. Like they'll put stuff like machine doubling and call it a over date or whatnot, like stuff like that. And they truly don't hold no value. Which I personally, if you ask me, it should be considered a variety, or because varieties are mistakes made or changes by the mint or the I forget where it come from, but you know what I'm saying, the people that design all this stuff, using like a type 1, type 2, not a mistake but a variety. Just because it was just an employee that worked there, didn't design the stuff, that overdid something on a die, I still think most of that should be a variety. I mean, because I've found some 64s and some 66s with some absolutely beautiful, matter of fact, I've got it sitting here somewhere, I'll have to pull it out, beautiful looking doubling on it. And technically, if you look at them, it looks like the same doubling. Say I've got that one sitting here too as a, where's that quarter at? I'll just pop it on here for you guys real quick. Here's one. I've got one of these that I think has got a new variety on it that hasn't been discovered yet. So hopefully, well, that got kind of loud, didn't it? Hopefully, I'll get attributed for it when I send it in and send off for it. Let's drop that down one notch. There we go. Let's try that. But if you look at it, let's see, I think this is, yeah, this is the one that I can't find any information on right here. If you look at that, let's see if I got something small to point at. Point at it with, and ooh, that'll work. If you look, I haven't seen on Wechsler's or Variety Vista. If you look, let's see if I can do this. Right here, and whoop, too close. Right here. Alright, let's try this again. Right, come on. Right there. Okay, and then you come over here, and where the heck was it? There's those two there. I think there's one more up there. I'd have to get super close, and there's one right there on that double. I think these are like explosions or whatever right there. And then you come down here. I think there was another one. Yeah, right there. That one right there. And there's a little small one on the one right above it too as well. I can't find that one anywhere. So I think this may be a new designation or attribution. There might be some other ones on here that I haven't looked too close at, but those ones there stood out a lot. Because you can find them in the doorway down here, along these roof lines, and on the bottom of the flag. I've got two of them that have got the bottom of the flag ones, and then there's one with a big notch on. I think that longer one right there. But I have yet to find the one where it's just these few right here. So hopefully I'm going to send it off to, there's another small little spot if you look at it right there. But my point on this is, if you look at this one, man, I wish I had that 66 sitting in front of me. I wonder if I do got it sitting right here. Let's just take a peek. Let's take a peek, shall we? 69, Denver. 2019 double ear. I actually came up with some pretty decent varieties in my last searches. Or I shouldn't say my last searches. They were my last searches plus going through everything that I kind of put away. I forgot I had some of the stuff that was really amazing. I ain't gonna lie. I may have put that one up. Hopefully we'll find one while I'm searching. I got some 66s here. But they look, the doubling, which they call machine doubling back then, resemble and look almost the same as all that stuff right there. Which maybe, these newer designs or newer coins maybe that's what they're considering doubling now, or double dies. You know, that is the machine doubling, that the machine actually makes the print. So why shouldn't the older coins with that kind of doubling on it be considered the same? It kind of blows my mind. Oh, sorry about that. Had to get something to drink. Maybe it's because nowadays there's so little to look for that they kind of have to consider it. Compared to back then, it was, you know, a more common yet rare occurrence to get the actual doubling than it was to get, because I found a lot of those 66, 64s with that machine doubling on there. So maybe that's the, I'm going to pop that on there because it's filthy. I don't know right now. Not seeing it. I got a 69S. I do find a lot of 69S's in the boxes from North Dakota there. Okay, buddy. Take it easy, bud. I'll be streaming for a little while here. Like I said, hopefully I'll be able to, if my mom needs help, to be done by the time if she needs help. So, yeah, have a great day, man. If it's snowing up there, stay safe, man. It's slippery over here where I'm at. And sometime after the first year, I'll be back in your state. Have a great day, sir. Hey, we did get Wheatie number 3 in roll number 13, I do believe this is. And that almost looks like a proof. Let's just check that. Not the Wheatie, but this 2009. It wasn't. Let me just make sure I don't have to be disappointed. Nope, I don't see any of those. So Wheatie number 3 is going to be, let's put it on. Excuse me. That camera is just not cooperating today. It does not want to focus. Oh, we got Wheatie number 3. Back strike looks like it's in fairly decent shape yet. In the front, it's a newer one, 58D. There are some varieties on those that you can check. I know these people say it's the most common coin out there, but you know what? Just because you're common doesn't mean you're not, can't be a classic as well. I think the 58D doesn't have any major. It does have some good looking, you know, in higher grades. I found one that was in a red condition the other day that did have a RPM on it, which, you know, like I said, everyone has a RPM. Pretty much everyone has an RPM. At one point in time, has an RPM on it. What determines if it's valuable or not valuable is, of course, condition on some of them. If it's not a rare variety with an FS designation, then I did take pictures of it. I got that one. That's one of the coins that I'll be putting onto eBay there, and it's in fairly nice shape for a coin that had been found in circulation. I do believe it's sitting right here. I've went through and checked them all, wrote them down to where I need them, and now I just got to take pictures and post. Tell you what, it takes a long time to do all that stuff. People take for granted how much actual effort you got to put into that stuff. I think this one is right here. Here we go. And I guess it's a red brown, but the strike was beautiful. If you look right at the top, let me go ahead and get really close for y'alls. Right at the top of that one, you can see the top and the bottom. You can see the split serifs in it. Oh boy. And right in the middle of the D, there's also a small, oh, this thing does not, I can't wait for the new autofocus. You can see the extra serifs on there. Let's get in real close. There you go. Now you can definitely see them. That's one of the RPMs right there. Like I said, it doesn't have an FS designation. So if you throw your mint marks and stuff under the scope, like that one there, I could see from the distance that it had it. Getting it close, you got to get in close to them just to verify it. Now I got to go through, that's one thing I haven't done yet, is found the exact RPM that is, because some of them have, you know, like the 1960D has got, oh my gosh, 170, I think, 100 and some. I better put that one back so I don't get confused with my stuff that I found so far. Identifying them can be an absolute a task in its own. And then, of course, if you find one that's not designated, but as you can see on the one I found, there's definitely, I'm going to say, not a possibility that for that to be one. And if it is, it's definitely not one I'd want to keep. All right, what do we got here? This is number 4, if I remember right, of the hunt. We had a 50. Let's see here. Where did that one come from? That's a 69. Okay, that's what that is. This is number 3. 58. There we go. Back on track. Here we go. And like I said, some of these coins, you know, there's an 83D that has a slight double ear to it that I guess I've never actually checked value-wise on how much it's worth. The site to do that on, if you guys are ever looking or interested in knowing your exact values or close to your exact value of a coin in its condition, would be to download, or not download, you look up coppercoins.com. I'm not sure if there's an app to it or not. I just look it up online, and it's kind of handy. Sometimes it's actually kind of confusing too, but it gives you can type in your date, your mint mark, and everything, so you can go to your specific year and everything, and it'll give you your grade, your value, and everything on each coin. Your varieties you got. So they list like almost every variety out there though, so it gets kind of confusing to match them. But that'd be like, say, if I wanted to price that one to put on eBay. The way I do it is I'll value the coin. I'll put my starting bid right around that value. That way I don't technically lose any money. Some of them I just throw on there because, you know, like there's some that you just can't come up with a value on, that other than looking for sales on online there and kind of comparing the prices to them. Like those, I think they're New Yorks with the explosions above it. Ooh, thought we had another weedy. Nope. No Canadians either. Woo! Oh. Man, when I first started all this stuff, it used to take me, I think my first quarter box I ever got my hands on took me, I wasn't really into, you know, really knowing what I was doing yet. I bet that thing took me almost 2 weeks to go from start to finish on that thing. It's always good to, some of my place I used to work for, I was pretty efficient. I was able to come up, I shouldn't say efficient right off the bat, but I was able to come up with a lot of ways to modify processes that they would have for building and welding and tacking these parts together to come up with the fastest way to finish and start a project. It took me a while to get to the end result, but my end result a lot of times would be the process that they would record and teach everybody else to do, just because I was efficient at doing it. So just like these, my first process that I did a quarter box on was not a good process whatsoever. Basically, I went through and I pulled out all the eagles. I pulled out all the states, this per coin, you know, and it's like, and then of course I microscoped them to the max, to where I found everything, every variety you could. I've got some quarters that have got some amazing die cracks and die breaks in them on the reverses, but they're not worth a whole ton. I've sold a few of them for some decent rates, just because they were considered a pre-cut die break, to where that crack was going to turn into eventually what would become the cuds that were on some of these coins. So those ones sold for difference, but the other ones with like shattered dies and stuff, they wouldn't sell. So I've kind of eliminated them from my watch list. So nowadays, a box of quarters, an hour, hour and a half. Pennies, they'd take me forever too. And like I said, I was looking back then for everything. Die breaks, because I was told that that stuff adds a lot of value to a coin. They really don't. I had probably a container full of 1980s cents with die breaks on the reverse that I had put aside, and most of them, some of them kind of make for a die marker for the double dies on, like, let's say the 83, but don't add no value really to the coin. So, oh, did I just see what I thought I saw? Nope. Not Canadian. 64. That's a good year to look on the reverse. They got a really nice double die in the back there. That's worth some decent money. Some of these coins, like that 64 right there, I no matter what the grade is, I throw them off to the side just because I've yet to find a 64 double die reverse. So I try to kind of push for those coins a little more than the others. Once I found one, I kind of let them slag a little bit. The 61D is another good one for the RPMs. I think there's 1 or 2 FS designations on the 61D. I do believe it's just one. I've had 1 or 2 of those. It's a pretty impressive double die. So I have a tendency to put those aside. And this tray has been a godsend since I built it at work. I was hoping to build more of them before I left there, but I guess I'll have to do it when I get to another job. I made this one out of metal. Basically, it's a tube that I cut in half. A little more than half. And then sanded and shaved it down, put a couple little uprights on the back. And then we had a gigantic, like, electric motor at work that blew up one night. Holy moly. This thing is crazy freaking... crazy magnetic. It'll smush your fingers. But I put it on the back, like, on accident one day. It kind of popped over there and hooked to it. And I tell you what, it's kind of handy. I don't have my Canadian currency, magnetic Canadian currency handy. I just put all that stuff up because I sorted everything out per date. Let's see. What might I have that's magnetic? Even if, like, say I put a roll here and it has a magnetic, say, Canadian cent, or if I'm doing nickels, it actually magnetizes this little tray to the point where that nickel or penny or whatever's coin is magnified will, like, not move down the thing, so you can kind of tell before you even pull them off. It's kind of cool little. That wasn't my thought to put that back there to magnetize the whole tray, but I guess when fate intervenes, you just let it slide or let it go. There was one day I was moving this thing around and I had a bag full, like a little Ziploc baggie full of Canadian pennies in it, and they magnetized that thing, and I literally couldn't get the cents in the bag off of the thing without tearing the bag apart. That's how magnetic or how powerful that thing is. So I shredded my bag and the pennies went everywhere, or I shouldn't say everywhere. I had to pull them off there. And so now I know now not to keep too much stuff too close to it, because it grabs stuff from quite a ways away. I can hold a penny or a magnetic penny from that thing, say about 1.5 inches, and drop it, and it'll fly to it. It's pretty cool. It's kind of handy too, is if you got, pennies and stuff, you can tell if it was a 43 Steely or a 43 copper. I'm not sure if it was an earth style magnet, because I know those ones are super crazy powerful. I'm not sure what they put in those motors, but There's a lot of them. I should have grabbed a few other ones, but. And I don't keep my copper coins. I put them back. I know people always ask and are curious to see if I keep them. And I personally, if they said indefinitely that the penny was going to be discontinued, I'd probably start just for that reason. But I don't think it's ever going to happen, to be honest with you. If anything else, we're going to see the production go way down, and they're just going to phase them out eventually. But as for them to just pull them all in and destroy them, I don't think it's ever going to happen. 1982D looked to be a large date non-copper, so the only one I pull out is that's a decent looking 68. This is a large. I used to weigh them all, but I kind of do. That's another thing I just don't have time for, is to weigh every coin, which is probably a mistake, because I did, when I was weighing them, I did find one that was a. I'm gonna have to get in my storage unit. It's in one of my dresser drawers in a flip. It's either an 86 or 87. And I can't remember if it's a Denver or Philly. That weighs 3.1, so it is a wrong planchet. So I should probably get back in the habit, or give my nephew like a set of Pokemon cards and have him weigh them all out for me, because it takes forever. But you know what? There's that's one of the crazy varieties out there that you ain't gonna find probably in your lifetime. And if you do, hopefully it's not just by luck, but it's, to be honest with you, that one I wasn't gonna weigh any of those ones out either, and I dropped it. And at the time I was on a really hard desk, and when it fell, just like a 66 or 64 Kennedy, when you drop them, even when you drop those, there's a slight different pitch between a 90 and a 40. Well, there's a different pitch between a copper cent and a zinkin. They just make a different pitch. And I heard it, and I stopped and I weighed it out. I wasn't really weighing everything out back then, but I think possibly if I was to do a drop test on a lot of these. There is Wheatie number 3. Woohoo! This is roll. Oh boy, this is 19, I do believe. We got Wheatie number 3 still in the 50s. Let's pull this one out of there, put this one up there. That is going to be a 5th. Oh! Never mind. I could have sworn I seen the wheat. Wait a minute. I could have sworn I seen a wheat cent back. Oh. No. I guess it was a 5 that got me. There's a die crack in there, though, if you look at it. 59 right there. I think that's a crack. I'll have to look closer with a loop just to make sure it ain't a scratch, because some of those can be deceiving on a microscope. But the 59D, at least we can look for, hey, no way. I do believe, let's get in real close, I do believe that is one of them. That's not the FS 101. I found a roll, or I found a box with a roll. Nope, I don't believe it is. The shadow had me going there with a bunch of 59 Denvers in them, and they were like red grade and in decent shape, that had the lesser varieties on them. And actually, they sold for a decent price. So that's where grade matters, or quality matters. Like on a 72 FS 101, no matter what, that thing's going to have well over the value that the coin's worth, just because of that, the designation. I guess 72 wouldn't have been a great year to compare to. Just because I think there may be one of those. Oh, excuse me, got an ear itch. one of those that isn't a FS designation, and I think it has to deal with the date on the coin. But that's where, like I said, great. Let's see. Let's think. What would be another one? Say the 43 Steely has 3 or 4 FS designations on the obverse, and a ton of other ones. So let's see here. No, 43 isn't the one that has a bunch. Let's see. Which one am I thinking here? Well, I guess, no, they don't have a bunch. They only have 2. The 59 plain. Well, so go to those. We'll just go to the mint mark styles. Say, come over here to your, right here, that's FS. So, 100, so that's not date. Anytime you're looking at a RPM, you're looking at 59. Let's just say the 59 has an FS 501. I think it's DDO 001. But it also has a ton of other ones. Those other ones ain't worth a whole lot in heavily circulated brown grades and stuff like that. But if you find something in a red grade, light circulation, they're worth pulling out. Because the grade is key to pretty much all that. So, well, we're getting closer to catching up with Canada. Oh, I should have put something back under there. Sorry about that. We are now still 2 under. I thought we had one more. Dang it. Out of all the Canadian coins I found, I think there was only 2 that were silver that I found, and one was in a couple more than that I found, I should say. One in a roll. There's only one Canadian. What the heck was it? Quarter in a quarter roll, and then I had a couple other ones. I put my hand in a coin return, pulled out a Canadian quarter, a few Canadian dimes that were silver at times, and I wouldn't mind so bad if all my Canadian currency came in as silver, but it comes in as stuff like this one, another one. Oh, just kidding. 1995. Like I said, you could check those for a blunt and sharp. I do is what they call it. Believe what they call it. Pointed 5. That one is definitely the blunt. The pointy one is the one you want to find that they're worth more. But that would be number 6 of the hunt. And you got double what we got. Grr. In North Dakota, I had to spend some time at a homeless shelter. A lot of times I come up with all these coins, nickels and quarters and whatnot, in all these hunts. And I hated taking them to the stores because sometimes they pass through and sometimes they throw a fit about them. So I'd always give them to the other people at the shelter there to weed out into circulation again, so I wouldn't have to take the major loss on them. Of course, it was nice when I had the job at AutoZone there. I used to take pockets full of Canadian currency. Other than pennies, like I said, I've saved those up just mainly so I can build a bunch of albums out of them. And, well, that and you can't take them back, but I used to take in my change in AutoZone and put them in the change out the till with Canadian currency. I remember my supervisor came in one day. He's like, "Holy moly! Look at all this Canadian currency in this drawer." Oh my! I was like, "Yeah, I know." The one guy came in and paid with all Canadian currency. I mean, we can take it, right? Sorry, Brandon. Just saying. It was me. I did it. That's probably where I will be starting here soon here in Colorado. Just something to get my foot back in the door. I worked there. I quit because new management was hired from another store, and they brought some coworkers. And I tell you what, I'd been working with these fellas for, I think it was a little over 3 months. There's a slight slight misaligned die right there. I've got a whole jar of these too. That's another thing. When I first started collecting, was something I would keep. And basically what that is you come around the side here. You see how narrow she is, and then she gets wider. This one's slight, very slight. There's a pretty big difference from there to there. And I do believe that's just a misaligned die. We'll flip it over, check the back too. It's where the one side just wasn't quite aligned properly. It's slightly off there too, but it's off on the different edge. I don't believe it's an off strike. I believe that's just strictly a misaligned die. It might have been the fact that maybe the back and the front were both just off a little bit because they're off in different angles. So, like I said, I used to keep a lot of these. I got a full probably roll of them, maybe more. Some more, some less extreme. That one's in decent shape. Being a young collector and stuff, that'd be something I would be grabbing and putting aside. Because I do tune in every week to Blue Ridge Silverhounds and his pocket change market report, and then of course I go in. I think I had 6 items once, and what do you call it? Brought up on their site one night. Kind of cool. It takes a lot to get your stuff to them. Just they're kind of picky on the emails and stuff, and for them to put up all 6, I was kind of shocked. And I've got some pictures of that Morgan dollar to them that I'm waiting for them to get back with me on. They had close-ups and all that stuff, but my actual pictures of the coin itself were pretty horrible because my cell phone that I had to replace my stolen one with just wasn't of quality. And when they asked me for the the new photos, I was on my way to North Dakota and had put all my coins in pawn just to fund the trip there. Got them all back, of course. I'm glad they didn't do what I said they could do and change the price of what I owe back if the silver went up and down, because it went up like $3 an ounce, thank goodness, since I had pawned them. They didn't do that, but I probably paid whatever the cost was, the difference anyways in the interest on it, but well worth it. And like I said, I'm waiting to hear back. I sent them new pictures now of that coin. I'm hoping to get some good replies on it. I've had all kinds of stuff all over the boards. People undergrading it and saying, "Oh, it's just common. I'll give you this for it right now," type stuff. Like, yeah, let me let you bend me over and pull out your fanny whacker and whack me a couple hundred times. And I've had some that were just dumbfounded by the front of the coin. That, the back is a 7/8, and they said one of them said they seen a slight other VAM on it, and the front they were just dumbfounded, like they didn't know what the heck it was and never seen anything like it before. So I'm hoping, seems as though these people are for the most part, I ain't gonna lie, they're a fairly reputable coin shop in Boulder, Colorado. For them to be stumped on it, I'm hoping that means dollar signs. $1969S, come on, double die. And it's not. I think that one's just circulation error. Yeah, where thought maybe we had a light strike, like maybe a die, what do they call that, repositioning strike on it, or possibly a grease strike. I found a really impressive one the other day. I don't know if it was from one of the videos I did. I can't remember if I filmed it or not. But it's pretty impressive. I think I just seen that a second ago too. Let's see here. be it right there. Nope. Another coin that will be headed to eBay probably tomorrow. Nope, that's a Kennedy. It's missing part of trust, part of liberty, and part of the date. I do believe it's a 72-ish. Because you can't read the last digit in the date. Right there it is. Pop it under there. Right there. As you can see, it says "tur." That R almost looks like it's got some doubling to it. Looks like the N, maybe it was hammered a little bit, but it's listed the LIB in Liberty. It's missing the, that might be a 79 now that I'm looking at it. I do believe, yeah, it's a 1979. I thought 2 at first because you couldn't see the bottom hook, but I'm thinking from that angle, I'm going to call it a 79, 1979. Some pretty impressive strike through right there. And the back, if I remember right, it looks pretty much unscathed. It's got some circulation, you know, of course, corrosion and stuff on it, but the strike overall is decent yet. Other than, of course, the missing print. Nice starter piece for a collection or a filler if you don't got that year for strike throughs. Sometimes they go through the roof, and sometimes they just start out the minimal. Coin like that, I'm probably going to put on there for 99 cents starting bid. '74S, one of my years I always collect. That's one of the only coppers I ever keep, other than, of course, you know, old stuff. I think it's just the S mint mark. I think it's cool looking, and of course it's San Francisco starts with the same as my last name, so I can't really collect anymore. Coins from my birth year, just mainly because, well, my birth year, you know, 76 is a year that's swamped with coins. If I was to keep every bicentennial or bicentennial half dollar or quarter, I'd have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rolls. So I kind of gave up on that. I only keep the ones that are in super really good shape. I know some people always keep, like, say you're born in 65 or 7, 63, something like that. They'll keep all the change they find from that birth year. But since my birth year's got 2 years worth of coins, that's kind of hard to do and not go broke. I'm glad everything's working on the stream yet. I've had some problems. I almost quit doing these lives and stuff because I was having so much problems with the software and stuff, but it looks like I'm starting little by little to work all the kinks out, thank God. Eventually I might start streaming like donation box hunts and stuff. And my last boxes of half dollars, of course those would be North Dakota half dollars, produced two full rolls of silvers. So I'm gonna be a little. I won't be able to afford to do like. Oh, there's another Canadian. Sorry, that one was hiding. It just showed its head. It is a young head though. 1961. I think that's a young head. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Pop it on the scope for y'all. Got a 1961. I know 1964 and 62. There's some varieties on them that are worth some decent money that I look for. I'm not too positive on the 61 if there's anything really. But that's the first young head. That puts us at 2, 4, 6. That's 7 Canadians and 4. Nope, 3. 3 Wheaties. The ones on the 62, I think, that are more valuable, if I do remember correctly, there's a 62 what they call harp strings and a 62 guitar strings, and it has something to do with, or is it 61? Maybe it is 61. No, it's 1962. The one in 1962 has some kind of lines that come from it. One look like harp strings, and one looks like what do you call it? Guitar strings or something like that. The 64, there's got a Wheatie, just seen it. 64 Canadian has some kind of dot, if I remember right, that's not supposed to be there, that you can find on it. Let's pull this out here and I'll continue. We got, let's move this Canadian out of the way. That's number 7. This will be number 4 on our Wheaties. Let's pop it over. We got a 19. Again, 58D. Most common one you're going to find. Last year, what would be crazy is actually to find a 58 with a memorial cent on the back. That would be kind of cool. I wonder if it'd be just like the 59 and the mint would deny it, and if you send it to them, they would pretty much destroy it because it shouldn't exist. Kind of makes you wonder if that coin wasn't somehow expertly fraudulated. I mean, some of these other ones, these crazy strike, excuse me, crazy ones, like there's, I remember, I forget it's a 99 or 2000 quarter, statehood quarter, that was stamped over a 99, I think, or the previous year's quarter. And to me, maybe it was just a complete accident. To me, that was a mint employee, and another 59D, that pulled a quarter out of his pocket, threw it in the thing, and it went through. And he said, you know what, that's going to be worth a ton of money someday. So he made it look somewhat circulated, not to draw attention, and sold it at auction. If I was a mint employee, I probably would do the same thing. I ain't going to lie. Who wouldn't, I know. Honest Abe Lincoln wouldn't do it. I think Abe would have done it too. He'd be like, Mary Todd needs a new pair of shoes, and this is the easiest way to get them. I mean, I could see, how you get the transitional errors where there's a copper planchet in with the zincs that accidentally get struck, so you get your different weights and stuff. Some of those, you may even wonder, maybe, an employee has, say, a stash of old copper cents. That'd be hard to, I would imagine it'd be almost impossible to pull that one out of circulation for him to actually get. I don't know how that works without being, because I would imagine it's videotaped and all that stuff. To get that to for your end all so you can sell it, but I could see it happening. I mean, you find in these 90, I think the last one I heard of was a 1990 that was on a copper planchet. Who's not to say that, in 1990, a mint employee had found a stash of copper planchets, full copper planchets that he could throw through there, and that's how he got that's how that one became in circulation. Like I said, some of them I do believe are hijinks, like the 99 on 2000. I am a betting man. If I had to bet on it being a employee that pulled out a 99, put it in there when it was in there in 2000, and stamped it, I'd have to lean towards that. Maybe he couldn't sell it just because of issues that would come back to him being an employee there still, or if he was. So you probably would have to have somebody else do it for him. But still, I have a feeling that's how a lot of that stuff goes. 64 Denver, they have a lot of RPMs. Not one of them is a FS though, so I've pretty much quit looking at those altogether. Like I said, if I was a collector and wanted to collect every year's RPM and have that in my collection or an album, it'd be a different story. Everybody has their niche though. 06, it was pretty hammered. I usually pull those because there is 2 FSs on those. One has to deal with the small ear, which I've probably found it. They're just hard to spot. It's so minute. And then there's one that deals with the date. Or no, sorry, not the date, but the Liberty is highly doubled. And then there's the minors. I have found 2006. I know it seems like a millennium ago, but 2006 you can still find some of those scents that are in fairly nice shape, and they do have some minor varieties on them. And I sold a couple of the 2006 date DDOs. It's basically an elongation of the zeros, I think is the one I had. It didn't sell for a lot of money, but it sold for some. And like I said, if you're collecting an RPM or DDO collection and need all of those 2006s, I found it for $0.01, and I think they paid a little over $2 for it. So in the end, they got exactly what they needed, and I got more than I probably thought I would have from one coin. So grade is key. High grade, I should say, is key for lesser varieties. We are, let's see here. There's an 06. It's got some carbon spots on it, but I'll check that one. As long as they ain't completely trashed, I usually check them. The only ones that I check that are completely trashed are, like, say, your 92. What am I thinking? 92 close AMs, and your 99, 98 through those wide AMs. Just because if it has a variety, those are kind of, that would be something I would keep for my own collection. The junk ones, and sell, of course, the high dollar ones. We are on roll. See, that should be 32 right now. Canada is still taking the lead from us as we speak. This will be number 8. Oop, I don't want that over there. And Shield Scents, I don't look at them very often anymore. They just, if I had a lot of Phillies to look through, I would look through them. But Denver's, there's just not enough. Well, we got, that's number 8. That is a 1991. 48. We're getting schooled again. The 71S. The 71S, there's a, I don't check them all for varieties. I keep my, like I said, my 68 through 74s, so there are some nice varieties on those. I think the 71S has a reworked bow tie, and one of them is a fairly rare and valuable coin. So, excuse me, if I ever get bored or run out of stuff to do one day, I might take all my S's, my 70 or my San Franciscos out and just kind of scan them all for varieties. I do a light scan on some of them, but they could probably definitely use a good looking over. And if I remember right, I think it's a fairly new variety, because I don't remember seeing any major Shield varieties on Variety Vista. When I looked in there the other day, I was kind of redoing my list. There's been some changes. I noticed there's a few of the older ones that actually must have been found recently, and then the 2014. Let me grab my book. I did not realize must have been fairly recently been found with an FS on it, and it is the 2014. Yeah, Philadelphia. It's got an FS 101, and it's mostly seen in the date. 2009 was the one before that. And that was there's a proof that has it, an FS designation. And then the 2009 formative years has got, I think, a ton of them, but 8 of them that are collectible. Or 8 of them that are FS designation coins. So I do believe, I found 2 of them. The same variety. I think they were FS 802s, something like that. Hey, there's Wheatie number 5. Thank goodness. Pop that under there. So much easier to just put it into the scope for y'alls. Now that's got some funky stuff going on with the mint mark. That's a 52D. So let's just take a peek. I think 52 may be another one with the over mint marks. And it is. Maybe that's what we got right there. We'll have to, let me see if we can control this real quick. I think I got it to where I can pop up my display. Oh, wait. Before I pop it up, I have a feeling. Aha. Let me add some stuff to these. Let's add this one. Or you'll lose volume over there again with me. So I said okay. Oop. There we go. Desktop audio. And then. Hey, wait. That one's already there. Wait just a minute. Remove. I guess I already had that one. Remove. Yes, I'm positive. Let's put in add. Audio input capture. I do believe is the one I need. Put that in there. Okay, so when we switch to that scene, which is, hold up here. That should be this one. Why is it not capturing? That is kind of wonky. Okay. Oh, well, let's add one more thing. Display capture. Where are we at? Image slideshow. Display capture. Here we go. Add existing. Whoa, no, that's the wrong one. Let's go back. Hit that. No. Where are the settings on those? Sorry about this, guys. I thought I had this all set up. It must have got deleted. I'm just going to delete this one. We'll start over. Let's see. Transform. Remove. There we go. Yes, I'm sure. Okay. One more time. Let's go. I know I have that somewhere. We're going to try this. This is going to drive me nuts. Excuse me. Scene 2, that's that one. Scene 3, has nothing for some reason. That is wonky. Let's see, order. I got lost here. Well, let's see. I'm going to try something different here. Since you all can see this one on here, let's do this. We're going to go C4. Boom. There we go. Now, I will definitely have this worked out before the next one. I thought I had it done before this one, but evidently I didn't quite get it set up properly. Alright, so we'll get into, let me get into the right page. That was a 52. We'll go here to over mint marks. 52 D over S. I do not believe that's the one. Definitely not. Alright. Let's see now. This is going to be interesting. To try to do this all at once, this is kind of a... Let's see. So, I need to add the sound to this one. Boom. Okay, that one is there. We'll add one more thing to it. There we go. Now we'll have audio over there. Alrighty, let's see. I think I got us going on here. Let's see here. Now we are going to transition. Okay, I'm transitioning just for a second here, guys. I'm going to pop up what I'm using to look at all this stuff. Hopefully you can see all this. I'll wait till it pops up there. I know I'm lagging just a little bit here. I had this set up to where it popped up on my other screen here, and for some reason it was not there today. So this is the D over S over mint mark right here on Variety Vista. Okay, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Well, I got quite a bit of a lag. That is what you want to look for. As you can see right here. Looks like the S stretched over here. It came up through the middle, probably somewhere in here. I suppose on some of them you might even be able to see. Oh, excuse me, to see. Oh, that itches. Sorry about that, everybody. Looks like this is some of the die markers you can see. Stage D. Wow, there's a lot of different stages in. They usually go from a stage. I think it's stage C. Oh wow. Wonder what the stage A and B look like. F. Holy smokes. There's a lot of them. That one there is probably a S over D over S. Because you can almost see like back there a tail of maybe another D there. That'd be kind of cool to actually be able to identify that. Unless that's part of the S maybe back there. Wow, that's a lot of stages. A through G. That's a ton of stages. Huh. I do not believe this is the one I got. So I'm going to scrap back over here. We're going to check RPM listings as well. And we'll drop to 52 Denver. And as you can see, nothing with an FS that I can see so far. So the only thing that holds an FS designation is, but that looks like the one I've got right there. Excuse me. Nothing with an FS, so that in lower grades these are not going to be highly valuable coins. I would imagine something like the RPM 001 being that strong as it is, and some of these other, the ones that have stronger stuff on them would be worth a lot more. Let me minimize this And we'll get back into our other screen there. All right, let's do this. We'll transition back over. And we'll pop up the scope quick. I think that might just be circulation damage there on the 52 on the Denver there. Let's go ahead and zoom right in. Or a die chip. It might actually be, I think that might be just a die chip on there. Right at the back of that, you can see obviously the damage. Whoop. I might not quit being pain. You can see the damage on the D there. But I think that may be of, I don't know, because that back side of that what looks to be a die chip. Oh, this thing is being a pain today. Almost like it might be a tail of a D somehow. I don't know. It's pretty crazy looking. Big old chip, die chip at least on the back of that. Highly circulated. The 9 is tore up. Somebody got mad at it. And I do not believe the 52D has any major DDOs or DDRs. Let's get back out of that super zoom. Yep, this manual zoom is about to go out on this thing. It's affecting the lighting and everything on this thing. Time for a new one. This is my second one I've gone through. The first one I dropped accidentally from a height that should have been dropped from, and it broke. So nope, there is no 52D RPMs, or sorry, not RPMs, but DDOs or DDRs. We'll leave that under the scope. We're on roll. What is this, 33 right now? And we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Wheaties and 8 Canadians. One in which is a young head. 68 Denvers. You can check those for a DDO on the reverse, or DDR in the reverse. 83, of course, there's both. You can, the 83P you could check front and rear, because there is an FS, I think 1 or 2 FS designations for the 83 fronts too. And I've actually found one of those, and they sell for a nice price in decent shape. An 82, I used to throw them all aside just to weigh them and check them, because there is some 82 FS designation coins, and of course there's the one you always be wanting to look for is the 82 small date Denver copper. It's supposed to never have existed, and just like some of them they got out there. So same with like the 74 aluminum. We got Wheatie number, come on, say 2 of them. Nope, only got 1 of them, but we got Wheatie number 5 here. Forward facing, come on, get out of there. And it's the first from the 40s. We'll change out that 50, put this one over there. Looks like a 41D. Sometimes I will just scan over the coin just to make sure, you know, because if you got one of the lesser DDOs, DDRs on it, I don't check most of these for DDRs. I think there's only a couple FS DDRs for the reverses on these Wheaties. I think that's just damage on the mint mark there. Just to check them, you know, because I think that as it is already a wheat cent sits at, I think, 3 cents melt value, so you're up 2 cents as it is on any copper coin. I think. I don't know if it's dropped or fallen since the last time I checked, but last time I checked it was like your copper cent's worth 3 cents pretty much. Which I know, I get it. Stacking them away, you're stacking up quite a bit, but same time, as a collector, I hate going to a bank order in boxes and go pick up a box and it feels paper light. And it's paper light because it's stacked with nothing but Zinkins. There's some varieties in Zinkins, but most of your cool and more valuable varieties are, of course, in your full coppers and stuff. So I don't like that feeling of getting a box of Zinkins. And with all the younger collectors out there that are getting into this hobby and stuff, I just soon give them a chance, an opportunity to get a box with coppers and stuff instead of not. So I return all my stuff. Same with like some of the lesser varieties. I scan through stuff pretty fast. I could scope every dang coin, but I don't have time to. Some of these younger collectors do, so they're going to be able to find some of these lesser varieties that I haven't been pulling out. So you got to reap the rewards when you have them and return them when you can. Granted, I try not to return any of the major rewards. But like say the 2019 D, it's got the double ear on it. I used to look for them a lot because they hadn't been discovered yet. Well, before they'd been discovered, I was looking for, at that point in time, 2019, I was looking for varieties I could find that I could be, get the full attribution on, and I came across that one. And Wexler had not updated his site yet to show that it had already been found. We got a Wheatie right there. That's number 6. We're gaining on him. 1944. Of course, it's not a Steely. It is a copper, but there is a 44P. No, there's a D. I think it's. Let me pull out the old reliable book here. I do believe it's the 44D has an FS on it. And yeah, nothing else. So, it's so weedy though. And I said that is number 4. Hold up, am I getting confused here? Let's see. Let me just grab these. Make sure I didn't put some of these 69Ds in with these because I think I got more than I'm supposed to. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Hey, they're all wheats. That's number what? 44. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're up to 7. We're only 1 behind Canada. Woohoo! Thank you, Wheaties. I thought we were at 6. I must have missed one. Early morning brain farts. Got back from my sleep study and there's a 60. I think there's some on the plain 60s. Was hungry, so I poached a couple eggs. Literally, I went out to the chicken coop and snagged them without permission. I'm just kidding. We don't have a chicken coop. Threw them in the porch. Before I came back here, I never really experienced poached eggs and stuff. And my mom's got an egg poacher. I tell you what, I don't think I'm not a big fan of eggs. If I eat them any other way than really scrambled good, or oh boy, we're getting a mess here. Scrambled good, hard boiled. I have a tendency to get sick from them. And these poaching them, and I tell you what, it opened my eyes to eating early morning proteins again. There's 2 of those, and a couple slices of really good Gouda, or what was the other one I had the other day? I forget. On a slice of sourdough, a couple slices of sourdough make an amazing sandwich compared to eating at McDonald's, I tell you what. Hey, there's a Wheatie. That's number 8. We're tied. That's the oldest one on the hunt, I think. Let me confirm. Let me pop it under the scope. My eyesight, like I said, is not doing any better. I think it's a 37, and it is 1937. Definitely had some circulation. Seen some brighter days. 37, I do believe, is one with a designation on it, but that one looks pretty hammered to the point where if it isn't extremely visible, you probably won't see it. 36, nope, it's 35, 36, and 39. Showing, I got wrote down here, 1934 P&D, 35, 36, and 39 are the FS's DDOs for the 30s there. And looking like 30 through 30, 34, 38 are your FS RPMs. Of course, there wouldn't be an RPM on that because there is no mint mark. But it is. Just tied us up with Canada. Woo, woo! We might have a winning box here today, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. It's been a while. '82 large or small, large date, I think. I think the large one is the mushy one, and the small one is the more defined one, if I remember right. Copper, or no, what was it? My first reference point for searching pennies, a guy had turned me on to a site called the Lincoln Cent Resource. I don't know if they've upgraded it or updated it with any of some of these newer varieties, because you know it was top 50 and top 100. I don't know if there's any of these newer ones that made it up into that list. But it gives you the top 50 and top 100 of a lot of the RPMs, DDOs, and then of course it teaches you the key date years, low mintage, and some of the other varieties. You know, the 22 no G, stuff like that. And that's kind of where I built my original internal cherry picker's guide. And I've just kind of morphed it after that with some of the other sites you can come up with and come up and tune into. 72 Philadelphia, we'll be checking that here in a little bit under the scope. That's one of my hardest years to, or one of my more, I shouldn't say hardest, but more confusing years for looking for the double dice, because there is a lot of machine doubling on those 72s, and it can come off as a one of the DDOs. There's a few of them that have come close to looking like it, but haven't been. I think the only ones of the double dies in 72 that I have found were two of them. I found the 108s, I think. The two of the 108s, I think, is the second most doubled RPM of that series. Or not RPM, sorry. Double dies of that series. And they both were grade-wise decent. I'm not going to say spectacular, but they sold for decent amounts. 69D, you can always look at those for the floating roof and FS. I want to say 501, but it's probably 901. I think 901 is the ones for missing digits, or what would they call it? Not just a digit, but on like anything, because you got your initials and stuff like that. I think it's an FS 901, the missing FG, or yeah, Frank Kasparov FG. Those I only look for mainly when I'm not doing a stream like this. I'll look for those when they're in higher grades, because there have been, just like the 74D Kennedy, so many of those found, or I guess a better better reference would be like the 82 and 72. The 72 has still got some pretty good value to it, but the 82, since there's been so many of those no FGs found, the value is, you know, plummeted. And it's the same with the 69 no FG penny. There's been so many of them found that the price has plummeted on them to where those ones, the only ones you really want to concern yourself with, unless you're selling like large lots or whatnot, is the higher grade ones. Unless you're a complete addict and you just want to keep every variety that you come across, which I used to be, but I've pulled myself out of that, because eventually you just get so much stuff hoarded up that you run out of time and space to do it anymore. That was the first part of my week, was going through a lot of the stuff that I had put away when I first started and weeding out what was actual valuable. And I think I came up with a total of maybe 60 or 70 really valuable variety coins, and then a few others that I just put aside. We're on roll 41 right here. We're tied up. Tied up. I'll settle for a tie. I'll settle for a tie. As long as we don't take another loss, we're good. Oh, I guess I didn't check. Let's just make sure. Ooh, nope. Not seeing any reverses of either. Thank goodness. $63D. You can look for the 3/3 on those. That's another one that I have found. Not the top one. There's a lesser variety of those where you could see the 3 under there. Woohoo! Weedy, there's a weedy right there. Forward facing wheat cent. We are in the lead. What? And it's from the 40s. 46 Denver. Let's pop this one out of there. 46 Denver right there. If I remember right, without doing a little work on that thing, you ain't going to be able to tell on the mint mark there, it looks like. I do believe. 46D. Wait a minute. 46S has it S over D. Never mind. I was a little bit off there. We got no major varieties on the 46D, so that's what I had thought. But if it was an S, we could check for an S over D, though. 68 Denver. 94s. I've got one of those that I found. It is a, if I remember right, stage B or C. It's not heavily. It was a late stage. That's all I got to say about that. It's not as pronounced as the earlier stage one. A heck of a lot less defined on the back there. I've tried selling that one. That was a buck and go on eBay, and it evidently not. People only want the major variety, so that again, then again, that's another thing where if you're building a typeset, you'd want every form of that variety. We're on roll 42. Going along pretty good. Not bad for an early morning stream, I tell you what. I figured I'd get a whole lot of people in here. I'm still building my way up. I was going to try to make a push for 500 by Christmas. I just don't got the time to devote into pushing that hard to get there. So I've always just said if it's going to come, it's going to come naturally, and I'm just going to let it be that way. I just enjoy bringing you guys content and education on some of these coins and stuff that you may not know and may be helpful in the future. It's a lot easier to do this than it is to sit there and videotape them all. There's a lot of editing and stuff that goes into it. And since I don't have a host, which is both a hindrance and and non. The one or two times that I actually try to have a host, they, of course, family friendly, unless it's otherwise set to, say, 18 plus stream. You could tell them to not use profanity, and I tell you what, the first word out of the one host's mouth was F, 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 and I was like, oh my. So that just didn't pan out. And the other one, it was during one of my rolls and pulls. She was supposed to be helping me. Suppose we went to use the bathroom, and next thing you know, she had just pretty much left. So I walked out of the park, and it was I just pretty much gave up on a host. I was going to try to get my nephew to come do some with me, but he's kind of camera shy. He's kind of shy altogether, so I don't know if he'd be able to make it. I told him I should probably ask him and talk to him and see if he'd do it if he didn't have to be on stream. Just possibly be in the background reading some of the chat to me and keeping track of all that stuff. Maybe before I head back to North Dakota, we'll get that. That was a 2006. You want to check those for 8 different FSs. And that all has to do with the hands there of Lincoln. Haha! Nice. Did it go well? Package total. Hopefully the meeting, being done with them is one thing. As long as everything went well, then hopefully it did. I woke up with a bunch of weird jelly stuff all over my head from these plugs that after they pulled them off, so it was kind of a weird wake up. Didn't get the greatest of sleep either. That's evidently some of my plugs that were on my head kept loosening. I'm a stomach sleeper. I can't sleep on my back. If I sleep on my back, they probably would have benefited more from that because I do snore on my back. And I don't sleep very good because as soon as I feel myself snoring, I roll over. I'm not a fan of sleeping next to somebody that snores, and I wouldn't want somebody to go through that either. Being, as a kid and stuff, my stepdad used to snore, and I tell you what, there were some times I just wanted to take a pillow, and he was a few rooms away, and it was still loud enough to where it would wake me up in the middle of the night. So I try not to make anybody else suffer, and I sleep on my stomach. And with a sleep study, it probably wasn't the ideal situation for having cords stuck all over myself. I think I had 2 on each leg, some on my chest, all over my head, and then I had the finger monitor thing on my tip of my finger and a few other things. And this last study, they were in there 3 or 4 times, and adjusting these things, which kind of drove me nuts. It's like if you finally get into your REM sleep and they're like, "Oh, sorry to bug you, we gotta adjust you," and it's like, I'm just glad they handed me a check. If you don't actually get the 5 hours of sleep, they don't pay you. So, I mean, 5 hours of sleep and you get paid $250 each time you go. That ain't bad. I don't think I have to go back. The only reason I went back, they must have had something malfunction on one of my last 2, so they needed some different data. But it's a welcome added bonus to get the call and say, hey, you got it. We want to give you another $250. 71. That's another year you want to check your DDOs for. I think there's 1, maybe 2 FSs on those ones. Last 5 rolls here, guys, and then we'll run through some varieties. We're sitting tied up right now. I shouldn't even say that. I'm going to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it. I want to at least be tied or win. Let's see. I do not see any Canadian. No wheatbacks, so hopefully we get a front in there somewhere. There's a Wheatie, or not a Wheatie, but let me pull this out. Well, let's see. We got the 46 under there now. A Woody, I should say. I used to keep some of these. I don't keep them so much anymore. That is a pretty impressive Woody, though. It's got some damage a little bit here and there, but the the wood graining on it is actually really impressive. Let's see if the back is the same or if it's just the front. Some slight, a little bit on the back, not as much as the front. I know, I guess it is a 1980. I don't see, hang on, let me pop up the display. Once I get this figured out, I'll be able to pop up the display in front of you guys. Until then, I'm just gonna go off of here. Let's see. Just because it'll make it just a little easier, let's pop this over here and speed up the process a little bit. Let me pop up Variety Vista real quick. For some reason, I could have sworn I had this set up and it was not set up. So let me just look real quick at the 80p. DDO. Let's see, where you at here? That'd be right here. And I do see some slight stuff on the side of the 80 there. Oh, but no. Yeah, you'd definitely. Oh, where did my screen go? Pop up there. There we go. You'd definitely be able to see it in the 8 and the 0. Distortion wise, even with the circulation and stuff, that the 0 would be highly extended on the right hand side there. Looks like all of them there. If you couldn't see the actual spread in the doubling, you would definitely, or I should say the separation in the doubling, you would definitely see the spread on the 1980. Not a double die, but it is that the Woody or the Woody? It is a decent Woody. I'll put it up just to keep it in the end of stream wrap up. I know people collect those Woodies and do typesets per year, because you can find it pretty much in almost every year if I remember right. And I would imagine a typeset of every Woody of every year would probably be a fairly, fairly desirable or collectible item. I haven't completely decided on if I'm staying in North Dakota, staying in Colorado, or whatnot. If I do change my mind, if I do make a decision to move somewhere that isn't those two places, I'm highly thinking about moving to the East Coast, just because when these newer coins get released out there, with the Philadelphia Mint being as lackadaisical as they are on these processes, you can make a lot of money just strictly off finding these coins. I mean, I'm watching Blue Ridge, and he's got these what are they, the women's rights quarters or whatever they're called, where they're finding them, and they're like 600. They're getting West Point prices, graded West Point prices for some of these varieties, and it's like, you come across a full roll of those, you're going to make some decent money. So it depends on what the East Coast looks like and is like to live over there. I don't know. I haven't, like I said, totally made up my mind on where I might be moving. Might just move there just for the fact that you guys got some killer coins. And those pennies that have been found, the 2021s or 2020s with that huge retained cut and pre-cut, the prices that they get for some of that stuff when they come out is just ridiculously amazing. That is a 7. No, I thought it was a 2. Got a 78. Down to a few rolls left here. Will the U.S. retain the lead? I hope so. Oh, let me get a coin, put it under there. I always forget to leave something under that scope so you ain't looking at the padding. That's an 06, or is that 2000? 2000. We'll pop it over, check it for the FG. We'll just leave it sitting there, or not the FG, but the AM. Hey, what's up? How you doing, Fleabag? How's your day going? Mine got started woke up by a nurse to take all the electrodes and stuff off me because I did a sleep study last night. 5 hours of sleep, and I think I got a full 2 hours of non-interrupted sleep, but made $250 for 5 hours. Not bad. We are on roll. Let's see. This is. Oh, that's the first commercial I've heard this whole time. Let's see if we can get rid of that real quick here. Where are you at? Skip them ads. Let's get back to the music. Oh, it's almost over too. Hopefully it's got a good some good tracks after this one. We are on roll 48 right now of 50 in a box. So far we're tied with Canada 8-8. And we got a huge stack of varieties to go through here. Of course, this is a North Dakota box. One of 8 that I picked up from North Dakota when I went back there to pick up a check. And like all my North Dakota boxes, they are stacked with Canadian currency. Oh, I know, right? Well, the luck. I must have been, super lucky because I did 2 of these sleep studies before I went to Colorado or North Dakota. Basically, you got to do 2 in a row. You go one night and one the next night, and you sleep for each 5 hours a night. Well, evidently, one of the nights something must have went wrong with their computer or whatnot, or one too many diodes or whatever you call them popped off of me. And they called me up while I was in North Dakota and asked if I could come in for another sleep study. So when I got back here, about 7 days or about a week after I got back here, I called them up, set one up, and basically made $750 for 3 nights of sleep, five hours each night. Not bad. Now that I would rather do than this whole donating plasma thing where you can make extra money, which you can make quite a bit, but I tell you what, I've tried that. I tried twice, I think twice in North Dakota. They've got a rule that if you're at say a homeless shelter, which I was, and getting my hips replaced and stuff, I had nowhere to go, so I stayed there, and they won't allow anyone from a homeless shelter to donate plasma. So I had to come up with an address. And I was still getting mail from my old apartment address. So I took that in and said, hey, I'm back in my apartment, blah, blah, blah. Well, they went through and did a little more of the physical, and I ended up not being able to donate again because of a C-spine operation that I had where they had fused my... forget which numbers they were, but they had to fuse 2 of my vertebrae from a broken neck together. And they told me that since I had that operation, that I would never be able to donate plasma. So while I was back here in Colorado, I went in and checked again and thought maybe it was just their excuse, that because they thought maybe I came up with a piece of mail to say I was not homeless, but it was. So I thought that maybe that was an excuse, but I came in here to Colorado and they looked it up and said, no, that's the reason. Something to do with the fusion of your neck. But I also called a place in Moorhead, Minnesota. Or not, I didn't call a place. I was on a date site. And I think they're called phlebotomist was on there. And it came across that's what she did. And I told her about my ordeal with the BioLife. Where they denied me for that, and she said there was no stipulation in that. So there's another place in Colorado here after I got that news that you can go in for to donate plasma. I forget the name of it, But I had it all set up. I went in and I went in one day. It's just you show up and you're there until you get seen. Well, they said on the phone it'd probably be 2 to 4 hours before I'd actually be able to be finished. Well, I sat there for 3 hours, went through the whole paperwork and all that stuff, the questionnaires and all that stuff, and I'm sitting there waiting for the medic or the medical staff, and they only had one. And she came and found me finally, asked me what I was, seeing where I was sitting, so she knew that I was most likely going to be seen by her. Asked me what I was doing. I was like, I'm the new guy. I apologize. I was getting thirsty. And needed to have my physical done. So she said, oh, if you wouldn't mind, I can't leave here because, I'm the only medical staff and or actual medic that's here, and I haven't had a chance to eat. So I was like, yeah, go ahead. So she took like 10 minutes, went and ate a little bit of her lunch. I'm like 10. She said I got a little bit down. It's like 10 minutes. I'm like done with my meal. So it's like, okay, whatever. She took me into the room, started asking me questions. I think she got like a minute into the interview, and something came up. She left, and I'm sitting there. Okay, what's going on here? I went up after about 45 minutes and rang the bell. I said, hey, what's the deal? And they're like, well, she should be there any minute. I was like, yeah, she was already there and left me in the room for 45 minutes. I don't know what the heck's going on. A few minutes later, I'm sitting back in the room, and she comes in, bawling her eyes out, hysterical. And I said, okay, enough's enough. And I walked out. And as I was driving out of their parking lot, next thing you know, the ambulance and the fire truck and everything show up, and I'm like, holy heck, it's a good thing I got out of here. And I drove to another location that they had, went in, and was going to donate there. So this is after, three attempts from BioLife, one attempt through this place. And I got to the last place, and I told them what happened and what was going on. They're like, oh, wow, that's pretty nuts. And I was like, yeah, well, they've already got me in the system, so can I just go ahead and donate here? Well, they went to look it up and look into it, and I had to, before I left the other place, I should have canceled the appointment or whatnot because I was still in the system. They said I had to get a hold of that place to cancel my first appointment, and I called them like 10 times, couldn't get a hold of them. And at that point in time, I said, enough's enough. 5 attempts, and I couldn't get it done. Obviously, this is a sign I'm just not supposed to donate plasma, or I'm going to end up probably in the ambulance next time. So that was my last attempt at donating plasma. All right, guys, we're done with that box. We ended up with looking like, let's count them up here. I think we tied. I'm hoping I got one extra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we did win. No way. That is awesome. 9. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We did. We took them by 1 point. 8-9. 9 Wheaties and 8 Canadians. It's about time we took a win. Whoop, whoop. I think the most Canadians I ever found in the box, if I remember correctly, was let me think here. It was 26, if I remember right. And I think that's right at the same amount of wheat cents, maximum wheat cents I've found in the box. It's right around there too. So now I'm going to go ahead and transfer screens. I'm not going to be up here. You don't have to look at my ugly mug for a little while. We'll go ahead and put the top down, or let's see. We'll either do this one here, transition over. I think what we'll do is, let's see. As long as everything's playing, I got looking like, let me see. Do I have audio? It looks like I got audio, guys. So I think we'll just go ahead and focus in right now. I do have a leg. It looks like I'm way behind. And run through some variety coins. 98, obviously. Looking for the wide AM. I have found a few of the 98s. The only one I haven't found of those series is the it's a 2009. We're going to be looking for the hand right there. Is The 99, I've yet to find one. Of course, the 92, close AM. I am not seeing the DDO right, or DDR right there. 80's another one. Nothing there. 84. There is a FS in the date. That doesn't look like it. But the main one you want to look for on those is your ear. And sometimes they're deceiving. That looks like almost like a strike through below the ear, though. Or just some damage. Nah, I would imagine that right there, those two little marks on a Zinken, usually when they're indented like that, you'll see the coating breaking up on them. That might have been a strike through. It is hammered though, and not interested. Like I said, I'm a profiteer, not a collector. Anything I can find that make a profit on, I'm down. All right, 99 hammered. Those, like I said, those are some of the only years that I condition don't really matter too much. 72 is another one, and that's nothing on the date. It is hammered. Not seeing it. Hopefully we get a decent variety in this. 95, of course, you want to look for the doubling. It's mostly in the In God We Trust. Not seeing it there. It's a fairly strong one. 92, that you can look for PD, and I think S as well has a close AM variety on it. 88, there is a slight double ear. I think it is an FS on the front. It's pretty minute. And then the back, it's a wide AM. I think no matter what is a wide AM up here. But down here, they do have the fancy 80 or FG. Yeah, FG. Not seeing anything too much on the date there. There's a little machine doubling on the top of this 2, it looked like. Not seeing any doubling there. I've noticed some of those ones have some. The 72s have some pretty large. And since I haven't found the double ear, I look at the crusty ones on the 84s no matter what. Excuse me. I don't know what that is. If you can see what I'm looking at there, at the curl of the 6, there's definitely, I don't know if that's some kind of post mint damage right there or a strike through of some kind. Oh man, sorry about that. I had to itch my ear. Let's see if we can get in a little closer. Oop, let me just pop this out of here. There we go. Let's get in real close. See what we can see here. Kind of interesting. I guess if you get in too close, you can't really see it though. It almost looked like part of a 6 or something. Let's zoom in really close on that mint mark, because some of those mint marks you got to get in super close to identify them, because it's just extra serifs. And that one is definitely not any of them that I can tell. And I don't see the date over the date. The only thing that is interesting about that coin there is whatever that little mark is by the top of the 6. It could just be extra stutter there for a second there. Spit it out, Junior. I think it might just be extra metal misplacement right there. Interesting though. Some stuff like that that you always want to watch for that can catch your eye that it's not exactly supposed to be there. 69S, not a double die. You can see it in the date definitely. There is a minor one. I almost thought I seen a. That might be a die. I'll have to look at that under a loop. Sometimes with these scopes and stuff, you get a big old die scratch. It's hard to determine if that's a raised or non-raised. 69S, I keep it no matter what. 66. I don't remember if there's one on the front, but there is a large one on the back that's highly collectible, and it has to do with the United. And like I said, some that from the sites that I've looked it up on, it almost looks like modern age doubling with it being more machined caused instead of human error caused. I mean, no matter what, a human programmed the machine to run, and I suppose some of the retooling is done by hand, but 61D, don't see the RPMs on that one. 84D, nothing there. Every once in a while, I will glance up at the top of their heads because I found some 84, what do they call them? Skull cracks, cracked skulls. Is a pretty common year for those. 83 is definitely a year if you're a big die break fanatic. That is a year that you definitely want to check the backs for them because there's a lot of times they're everywhere. Oh, 69D, sorry. Thought I had something else there. You want to check those for the FG and the floating roofs, and they're both there. I don't think the floating roof actually has a designation. But the no FG, I do believe, is an FS901, something like that. That's a 92. Close him. Losing my train of thought there to explaining stuff. ADHD is a fickle. Let's just say it's fickle. Can't say the other words here, so. Wide AM there, 92. 69S. Not the one we want to see. But a fun coin to find nonetheless. Alright, what do we got here? 68D. There is a RPM that has an FS on it. It's not there. And then on the back, I usually just go straight to the S because you can see the split Ceres really well on the true double die. These also have a very convincing machine doubled one that can get you. Another 69S. Another coin that no matter what the shape is, I check it for being the biggin. Alright, 94, that would be the one you want to check on the back there for your 801 variety. Nothing in those pillars. Got another 69D. Normally I wouldn't keep them in this kind of grade, but I probably didn't see that it was couldn't make out if it was a D or not. Boy, I can't remember if 68 is one of the variety years. I don't think it is. I just kept it because it was in good shape. Not seeing anything on the front there. Now, if I was collecting to build albums and stuff, I'd probably kept that one for definitely a starter. Nothing. There is some minor ones on the 95, but if it ain't in good shape, here's a 2000. They're not worth keeping. I did come across a 2000 in one of my last searches, or my very last. I think it was box number 3, the one that I did the video, not the live stream on. I did come across a 2000 wide AM. I got it sitting over here. Not quite posted yet, but it will be on eBay soon enough. Major. 83 has some major die scratches on it. That one's got some serious metal manipulation stress right there. Let's look at the back. Do we got it? Not seeing any of the doubling there. But there's one of the key die breaks that I do believe is a one of the die markers for the FS on it. But neither one of them. We got an FS 801 and 802 on there, and you also have a FS 102 or 3 on the front, and it concerns like the Liberty and a few other things on the front there. Highly doubled. 63, I cannot remember. It was just in good shape. Sometimes I just put them aside when they're in decent shape, strike-wise, and condition-wise, just to check them, because like I said, the lesser varieties still command decent money in the lower grades. I almost check every one of the 83Ps just because I've yet to find the FS 801 on it. I found the 802 once or twice. That is not it. Get another handful of coins here. 84 double ear, another one that I keep even in bad shape just because I want to find one no matter what the shape is. Just to say I found them. I could say I found them online because you guys had, had to more or less believe me. But honesty is the best policy. There's a lot of these varieties I've yet to find yet. A lot of varieties I'm still learning today. And not seeing it. There's some minor ones on the 59Ds, RPMs. Not there though. That one had a decent strike, but condition wasn't there. That one's got some pretty sure that is just machine doubling right there. Top of the 8 and inside the 8 there, you can see kind of, I do believe that's just machine doubling though. Flat edges like that usually are a dead giveaway that that's not the right one. Which is a contradiction because like I said, that New York America the Beautiful quarter has those edges that they would back in the day consider, what year is that, 2000, would consider being machine doubling and not put it out as a true variety. Someday they'll decide that should be considered one, but not a major variety. 84, nothing doing on the ear. Another set of coins over here. Let's go through these things. 88. That's like the pointiest ear I ever seen, but that may be. No, I don't believe so. It just got some damage there. I always check your coins on multiple angles because from that angle you look like you get doubling. You twist that thing just a little bit, it looks normal. I almost thought maybe we had the 88 double ear there. Definitely not the FG. 92. I think there is some small double dies on those. I just never look for them. That may be one of the lesser RPMs right there on the 63. I'm not going to research it and check it. It does have a slight shelf on the top there. Possibly at RPM in that shape. I'll leave it out there for the next crew to find it. I'm only greedy if I find high dollar stuff. 68D. No RPM. And not seeing anything on there. 97. It is a year for the double ear. I have found one of those in circulation. Matter of fact, I do believe, if I remember right, Jackalope Herdmaster actually bought that on eBay. Another one of my excuse me, these are trying to slip off. I must be sweating a little bit. Another one of my big contributors on my eBay page was Sam CB1. He went on there and he cleared me out of a lot of stuff. I had a lot of RPMs and stuff, not the major ones, but just ones if you want to put together a typeset of RPMs like the 60s. He bought quite a few of those. That one there almost looks like there's some doubling, but I do believe that's machine doubling right there. These are one of my bugaboos. I have a hard time with these coins because of the machine doubling on there. Like that N right there is crazy machine doubled. 72 is a year that a lot of the times I will throw off to the side just to do a double take on them, which I might do with that one. One of my hardest years of determining right there. Is that a D? Yes, it is. 94. 1980. Come on. No. 92. No, 82. That is the 82 small date, large date, small date, large. I'm gonna have to go back. It's been so long since I've looked at an 82D. I think I pulled that one aside, but to weigh it. But all you really got to do is you come to the back side of the coin, and you can see right there, the corner of that pillar, the copper is starting to flake off. So that is in a little bit on the raised edges of the letters. Definitely not a full copper. Kind of some ways you can actually determine. There is a nice little dyed chip, it looks like, in a 61D. Another thing that I used to keep and collect quite a bit. Nice, yeah, here, I'll show you right now, Fleabag, right here. You and me both. Oh boy, I just hit the music button, didn't I? Whoopsie. Hold up. Is that better? Why, you little... Give me 2 seconds here. I must have hit something that I wasn't supposed to. And I did. Let's go back. 2 seconds, guys. I just dropped our music feed. See if it'll pop back up for me and not freeze up. Oh gosh, don't freeze up, don't freeze up, don't freeze up. Rut-roll, Raggy. Okay. There we go. It's going to be the same music, but there we go. I won't have to worry about copyright strikes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everything's probably just lagging right now. This poor old laptop. I'm shocked it even runs what I have. Because I run... Well, let's bring it on back like this. I run 4 cameras. One's just a backup camera on the laptop, of course. And then the top-down scope. And my front view there. And I'm kind of shocked it runs anything. There we go. We're back. Got the music back up. But I had replaced the hard drive in this thing with a solid state. So the guy said I should be able to run all this stuff with that because it was just a smoother thing. And tell you what, it's working pretty good so far. Any more equipment and stuff, which I'm going to pick up a new scope and a couple other things I seen the other night. Now I totally spaced out what else I needed. Those zeros, there is, you can see those raised lines in there. That might be one of the ones for the date. One's extremely oblong, and you can see notching on the Liberty. And that one, the ear part, I have yet to find one of those. It's so minute that I don't know if you can even see that. I think they say you're supposed to go by the beard of Lincoln to, oh yeah, duh, before I lose them, here you go. The 2000 wide AM, here we go. There's that. And you flip it over. And there it is. I found one as well. I found some 2000s, and I think that's the most I found was in the 2000s. And then I found 1 or 2 of the 98s, and none of the other ones yet. But 2000, you can see that different G on there as well that you're supposed to look for on the 88s. A little bit of carbon spotting and stuff like that on it, but it's still, you know, those are one of the ones I always check for. If anything else, if I found one that's pretty run down, it'd make a great giveaway for somebody that don't have it, so I always check them. Of course, I'll probably cry my eyes out when the day that I find one that's a I couldn't remember when I threw that aside if there's a over date for the 60s or major varieties. The R looks like it has some kind of doubling on the bottom, possibly just post-mint damage. The E did too. That thing's so hammered I wouldn't even keep it. So does that B. Huh. I should research it, but you know that the shape that it is, I'm going to let somebody else do it. 92 Denver. Wide AM. Hey, I'm just stoked that if we don't get any major varieties, America finally got a win. With one extra wheat cent. 68 Denver. No doubling. You would see it pretty well, like I said, on the S's and states. I've always, from the videos I've watched, that's where I've been told to always focus when you're looking, because the serifs on the S are highly recognizable. I'm ecstatic. I started my day with a win. That's all that matters to me. And these, the 69s, I usually keep, you know, I can tell if it's a Philly right off the bat. But, oh, that might be one of the minor RPMs on the 60 right there. And that is a large date, I do believe. You tell by looking at the 6. The 6 is either curled more there and not extended at the top, or the extension at the top is more curled in. And I don't believe that to be an RPM. It just looks like a little metal manipulation right there. You can kind of see, it might be an RPM right there. You can see on the bottom of the D, that notch, and the top of the D, there's that second notch. It's probably one I shouldn't keep. I'll put it aside just to show as we got a variety. But looking through those 60s, there's a lot of RPMs, and to get them perfectly right, you kind of got to go through and check your mint markers and everything. Sometimes it's worth it if you've got a more impressive double or RPM on there. But like I said, I'll just throw it aside just in case. The only thing going for it is you can definitely tell it is the large date, not the small date. And I think Variety Vista takes their site and, or on their site I should say, they'll have the listings to where you can see the large date, small date differences. So that kind of helps a little bit. But I think there's 120 or so actual double die or RPMs for the 60s. Kind of like some of these newer modern coins, like you got your Homestead quarters. I think there's close to 100 RP or double dies for that, or the Wyoming State quarter. The Phillies have got a ton, which a few of them are highly collectible and valuable. Another one that has a ton is the Minnesota State quarters. Both Philly and Denver have quite a few different high varieties. But they have a ton of different ones, smaller versions of them. So process elimination, that's why I kind of do it this way. You know, you got an 83. I used to sit and take and set them all up per year. So, you know, when you're going through an 83, you look at an 83, 83, 83. But that takes time. Your time is money. And nowadays, I just go through them as I find them. I've got them so memorized in my head that it doesn't even flinch me or affect me. That one is a 92 wide AM, the way it's supposed to be. 94. We're gonna look for that double pillar. I think there's some minor ones on there too. Some extra stuff in the other pillarways too. That thing is highly damaged and no extra pillars. 98, possible close A or wide AM there. not it. We're about a little over 2/3 of the way done with these variety searches here. So far, nothing definitive and nothing major. 59D. Not seeing the FS 501 on it. I have found a couple of those, and they sell for pretty good prices. Even the ones that ain't in perfect shape sell for decent money. I sold one for I think 21, and I sold one for 12. So it's all about variety, or all about condition when it comes down to these variety coins. 96, there's a nice one on the date. You got to be careful because sometimes that date comes off as double, but it's just machine issues. 78, not even sure why I got that one there. Accidental drop, I suppose. Alright, I'm going to grab another handful of coins and pop them over here in front of the scope. We've got a 84 non-double ear. 95 Liberty and got IG. I always mess that up. IGWN, no, IGWT. In God We Trust. Highly doubled. There is a 95D that has some doubling on it too. But after looking at so many of those things and not finding nothing, I kind of gave up on them. That is a 64D. That must have been an... Well, there's something in that mint mark. I'm not going to mess with it. I'll let the next guy find it. Possibly something. Nope, that's not the one. Let's see. 92. Wide AM. I'll probably fall out my seat when I find that thing. Hopefully it won't be on stream. Haha. I shouldn't say that. Hopefully it is on stream. That'd be an awesome thing to find with all you guys. See, like right there, you can see that the R is definitely got some machine doubling going on to it. Nothing enough to warrant, if I wasn't already keeping the coin, to keep the coin. But even in shapes like that, I keep my San Franciscos. For one, you never have to worry about looking at them again and getting disappointed. And two, it's just I think the San Francisco mint mark is really cool. Excuse me. Now I can't remember if the 82, if it's a small date, large date, if it's In God We Trust, or I suppose I should grab my book and look. I know one of them is strictly. You come back here and you pop your E Pluribus Unum under it, under your scope to check it. They're always so smushy and hard to see, though I hardly ever check these coins. But I figured since we're streaming, I'll take a peek. Maybe we'll get lucky. But like always, that thing is so smushed. Possibly with a better scope, but mine's not that powerful, so. And if you look at there, that even looks half doubled sometimes with these scopes. And doubling can be deceiving. I mean, you got some with separation, you got some with spread, you got some with thickness, hub doubling, you name it. Sometimes it can get a little confusing. What do we got here? 92D trashed. See, that would break my heart if that was a close AM. I don't know what the value on a coin that's that heavily damaged would be, even being the rarity that it is. I don't think would fetch a whole heck of a lot of money. That would be the one that you would keep just because you are that much of a collector. Even that would be good enough for your collection. Quote unquote collection, I should say. We're getting through these. 74S. There is no varieties on the 74S whatsoever. It is just a constant keeper. 72. Got some extension in that U, but all in all, no doubling. $95. Nothing there. 60 Denver. Oh, got a little unfocused there. Not seeing anything. 1980. Nope. That one was hammered. I don't know why I even grabbed that one. 69D. We'll just check just in case. Yeah, you can see remnants of it there. I think I got a dozen of those that I went through the other day that are full no FGs with the floating roof that I have kept over the years. I've had much more than that, but these ones were in good shape, so I kept them. Now there, if you look at the of, O, and of, looks like there's some doubling there. I could kind of see it in the A, and the M, and the E, and the R, I. I think that's going to be construed as machine doubling. Because I'm not seeing it over here. Definitely not. But that O, which, you know, you never know. It could be a new one that's never been found before. I don't know if I should take it and put it aside just in case, but I will. Just time. Like I said, I've never actually sat down and tried to find new ones, except for that 2019 D double ear, and I was blown out of the water because they hadn't updated their site. I thought I had one for sure. 63D, you gotta look for that extra 3. Another 83. I always look for the R in both Trust and Liberty. Is one of the FS's that those are pretty heavily doubled. Of course, the back. The one I think you could probably see the FS 801 without a scope or anything on it. But there is a lighter one, the 802, that without magnification you're definitely not going to see. Nice. What'd you have, buddy? I'd be sitting here starving right now if it wasn't for the fact that I poached a couple eggs this morning and grabbed some coffee while I was upstairs. We're about 30 coins left on this variety search, and then we'll do a wrap up on here. Appreciate y'all for stopping in and joining me. Little by little, these streams will get more interesting, more better. It just takes time when you're doing it by yourself, trying to keep everything together. Like I said, assistance would be, or you know, a second host would be great, as long as the guy can depend on him. That one there looks like some slight spread, because there is some other than the big one, the 3/3. There is some light ones there. It looked like there's some spread, but not enough to to warrant me to look up the site. The next guy can have those ones. 63s or 69D. What do we got there? An FG. And most of the roof lines are there. 64. Let's check the back. Hopefully we find one of these with that machine doubling on it. They're, for the most part, I think it's actually quite an impressive error on the coin. They just don't recognize them. got 92A or 92D. 61. Nothing there. 06. Some slight separation in the date, but I think it's just that gets me every time, that little spot in his hair right there. It looks a lot like the doubling. Boy, I don't know. I don't think it is. Some of these stump me every time. I've had like the date ones that are non-FS, and I found one of the FS designated Liberty ones, but I've yet to find that ear. Maybe with a better scope it'll be easier. Finding one for a decent price is with autofocus is turning out to be a chore, that's for sure. This is my second one of this cheap variety. I think I got 2 sets for $16 or something like that on eBay. But they're not the greatest. They work good for handheld like scopes, moving around for a certain amount of time, but after a while the movement and the constant movement of the cord and stuff starts them to short out. And it looks like it. I don't think it's down far enough though. I've probably thrown away some major varieties that I just have a hard time identifying. Oh, that's an S, ain't it? Another one of the keepers, and that one there's something to do with the bow tie. That one's, of course, obviously heavily circulated, and you won't be able to tell. But I know there is some. I think the 71S, like I said, has the revamped bow tie, and it also has, I think the other one is a proof of the 71. Has some big VAMs, big designations on them. A little bit better shape, 69D there. Let's check the back. Big FG right there. 98, come on. Nope. What we got here? 92. Denver. Wider than, I won't make any reference on that, just it's too wide. Same with that one. We've got a 71S, another 71S there. I'd have to do some research on that. I'm not too familiar. I just, when I wrote that list the other day, it is under one of the, there's a couple different things on Variety Vista that you can look under, and one of them is the, I think the mint mark varieties and variations, and then there's a design variation, and that is one of them in there that's highlighted under blue or red for rarity. So I put that one in there. So I'm not too familiar with it. By the next time we do a live stream on these pennies, I think Thursday, like I said, I'm going to post a link to a live stream that is basically just going to be a link to, and I'll explain it in chat, to Sir Benji's on Thursday. It sounds like we will be doing a box battle, either pennies or nickels or both. Usually a fun time. Last time he schooled me, like on, what did we do? The last one was a penny box, and he schooled me. He's from the north, so just like my penny boxes, a lot of the times are packed with Canadians and stuff, and I tell you what, I took a whooping on that and a nickel box. But I think I got some good boxes of nickels. On my last box of nickels I battled with Sir Benji were kind of a makeshift box where I went around town and I picked up 50 rolls of, did you see that in the Liberty there? Let me look one more time. I don't believe that's it. doubling. Gosh, it's hard to say. It looks like there's some raised edges on that G and D. And the tip of that W right there has what looks like an extra serif. 72 is one of my hard years. We'll just throw that one aside. I know some of those are pretty subtle double dyes. So instead of throwing those back, I usually put them aside just to check them later. Not seeing it on that 66. There's another 66 right here. If I not seeing that. 99. You got a close AM or wide AM. We got a close AM. Another 99 here. Another close AM. I know Paul did a video on the 99s too. That there's a die clash, a pretty fancy die clash on the 99 that a guy can look for. But after searching so many of those 99s and looking for basically your close AM, it's hard to reset your brain to scan the whole coin. And I usually end up just checking for close and wide AMs. That 9 is kind of funky on the tip of the tip there. It almost looks like there's some doubling there. Whereas it looks like there's probably machine or mechanical doubling there. Gonna throw it back again. That one almost looks like it's got the same thing, but I think that's just formation in the, well, actually, no, just had it slightly angled. We're gonna drop down just a little bit and see if we can get closer on this, because they are fairly subtle, the notching on those. And I thought I was seeing it. I can't remember if it's on the top of the letters in Liberty or the bottom, but I did see some notching. You can kind of see some raised edges in God, which there is some minor varieties, but in that kind of shape, that coin is not worth looking at or saving, in my book. Definitely seen some environmental changes. Matter of fact, that 6 looks a little distorted as well. I do believe I have a first find or first discovery on a 13. I think I showed it earlier. 2013 America the Beautiful. That D looks like me after going out with all my buddies the next morning. 71, there is heavy doubling on the 1971 in Liberty. That's the main thing you want to look for, I do believe. Excuse me. On your 71s, the Liberty is highly doubled. The date is as well, but I think it's more actual distortion spread on the 71 and not so much as the Liberty. We've got a 1999 close AM. Dang it. Pretty hammered, but let's check just in case for any doubling over there. Not seeing it. I'm just seeing some what do they call that? Bubbling from years of abuse. Looking there, FG looks like the non-fancy. I guess I didn't even check the ear. Not seeing it. 97. Those ones you can see pretty readily, or I should say readily, pretty easily under a scope. The doubling on the ear there. It's fairly impressive. I think the most doubled of the double ears is the 84, if I remember right. it's just being a pain. It does not want to focus. Autofocus will be nice. No dubbing on the front or reverse. That's a nice clean coin. Or I shouldn't say clean coin, but a good strike. Slight break down there at the bottom below FG and over here as well on the corner of the monument. Something you can always look for on those is that I do believe, like I said, one of them is a die marker for the double die. Just not that one. Oh, there we go. No wonder I wasn't focusing. There we go. Wasn't quite tightened in there. I forget what this was now. That is a 92 wide AM. Last coin under the scope is going to be a, looks like 69D. We'll check it just to check it for an FG, which it has, and a roof that is non-floating. So give me 2 seconds here. Let me get these out of the way. And I'll flip screens to where you can see me a little better. There we go. Kind of get stuff laid out here. And we will do a wrap-up transition here. Let's see where we at. Put it on the main. There we go. Transition over. Welcome back. Nice to see you again, everybody. Oh wait, I haven't left. Just my image. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm back on screen. Alrighty. Well, those are all my S's that I'll be keeping right there. Let me move chat over too so I can see what I'm doing. Those will be the S's I found in these rolls. We've got also from these. Finally, we were dealt a winning hand of coins. We ended up pulling off the wind against Canada this time and beat them out by 1. 9-8, I do believe, was the ending score. 37 was our oldest on the wheat cents. 11 there total. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 there total, sorry. 9-8, that's what it was. 9-8. Let's get those Canadians out here. Take your defeat and like it. Because it's about time. There we go. They fit all on the screen there. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 Canadians, including one young head. Oh, to top that off, let's see, I better put these outside. We did not get the close I am with that. A few that I'm going to put aside just to do a little more research on. That 61D, the 72, just to check it a little closer, and a 60D that I'm going to do a little more, look a little closer at later on off the stream. Oh, and one more 60D that did have, if I remember right, the RPM on it right there. So yeah, I will look at those closer later on. And then, of course, Pokemon-wise, I'm no expert, but we got a couple that were fairly decent in the box, in those packs there. At least to start with. I'll go through and scan all these later. Let's see what kind of grand total we got from them. We've got a, where did I put that one? Got an itch on my foot, it's driving me crazy. I hate when that happens. Where did they go? Did I put them over here? Son of a gun. They decided to disappear. Aha, here we go. I forget what he had called these, but all right, there we go. That one I think was a couple $. I think like $4 something total between that card and this one. Out of a celebratory box type thing, which I've never seen one before. That is one big Pokemon card, I tell you what. And I thought it was just kind of an insert for the box, but looking it over and comparing it to this smaller version right here, they're completely identical. So, well, this one's got actually a little more hollow to it than this one does. So, I'm gonna have to do some research. Maybe it's worth much money. I'm not sure. All in all, started the morning off by waking up, making $250 for just waking up and sleeping for 5 hours. Went through some coins, found some decent stuff. Went through some Pokemon, found some decent stuff. So, I'm going to hop out of here, guys. Thanks for joining me. Streams will get better. Eventually, we'll have donation rules. We'll have some games and stuff to play. I'll start doing some auctions and whatnot. Until next time, everybody. This is DJ Numismatics. Thanks for joining me, whether you're watching just from the replay or for joining me today. Little by little, I'll get better at this, and hopefully we'll pack the streams eventually. Until next time, everybody. It's crappy out. Stay warm. It's slippery out. Stay safe. And if you can get your hands on them, keep hunting, because someday you'll find that big score. This is DJ. I'm out, guys. Have a great day.